Hey guys, today is Wednesday, December the 14th of 2022, and I wanted to go over the Nifty 50. I haven't done an update in a while, so I figured I'd do a quick update, and I wanted to show you something that's important that's coming up on the daily chart regards cycles. So I figured if you're trading this, this is a must-know for you guys. So without any further delay, let's get into it. The first cycle you already know is the 191. This is the one I'm leaning on. I believe this one is the one that has the best correlation and everything. But, Nifty 50 has not been going down, has been going higher and higher. Kind of pulled back a little bit, and I think it popped above the high. So, but this is the cycle that I'm leaning on that has the most importance. The next cycle is the 119, and this one is bullish. So if this is going to continue going higher, it looks like this cycle is the one that's going to propel it, even higher. And the last one is the 37. This is the dominant cycle, and you can see that this cycle is down at a peak around October, and it hits a trough around February of next year. So this is down with the 191, the composite. This is what you kind of get as a projection line. But, Nifty 50 hasn't been coming down yet. So just be cautious because sometimes like the Netflix weekly cycles are down and then Netflix just collapsed really fast. Let's go to the daily chart because what I want to show you is important. It's on the daily chart that you need to be aware of. Okay, so this is the daily chart. I'm using data from 2016 onward. And the first cycle is the 264 cycle. This is hitting a peak on January. You could say the 2nd, January 1st, first week of January, this cycle peaks. And the correlation is not the best, but you can see that it kind of is going with the momentum, and then it pulls back, and now it's going up. And if the daily cycle is going to pull it back, the chances are that the probabilities are high that this could probably be it. I looked at seasonalities, and seasonality indicates that January is very weak. So I don't know if everybody's just piling in, and once January comes in, they all sell off. I know it looks like that's like the pattern, but what's important here is that the daily cycle is confirming that forecast. The next cycle is the 166 is pretty strong, has a 96.22 Bartel. And this one has been down while Nifty's just been going up. It's amazing. It's just hard to bring the Nifty down. And it's going to bottom out on January 1st, 2nd. So interesting. 166 bottoms in January, the first week. And the 264 hits the top. What do you think of them apples, huh? It's amazing, huh? Sometimes things are just the opposite. But those are the two important cycles. And then lastly, the dominant cycle, which is this one down here. This one hits a bottom on January, which is the 137. So what I get out of this? One, that if the Nifty 50 kind of stalls around here and goes sideways and or goes a little higher, and then January 1st comes in, the second or that first week, and we start, pulling back, chances are this could be the culprit, this cycle right here. And then we know that the weekly cycle, the other ones I showed you, the 199 or 191, that's down. This could give it some momentum to the downside. So just be cautious. Just raise your stops. We're going to look at seasonalities and get some other clue just to kind of get a big picture of what could possibly play out towards the end of this month and beginning January. Okay, so here's the Nifty 50. As you can see, percent of months in which the Nifty closed higher than it opened from 2018 to 2022. That's roughly 5 years. You can see that December is a little stronger, not as strong as October, November. But then January and February with a 5-year average, look at that. Look how weak these 2 months are. So let's go to the 10-year. You can see that December is a little strong, so it ends up pretty good, high. But then January and February, very negative, below 50%. We can look at the 15. You can see December still strong, January weak, and then February is it's more like flat. And then last is the 20. December within 20 years, December is always strong, pretty much up there like with July. But then January, looks like everybody sells off. Everybody locks in profits. I don't know. Whatever happens, everybody just disappears from the Nifty 50 market and everybody's just sells. And you can see that February is kind of flat. So that's what the seasonalities are saying. Let's go to the next clip and see what we could get out of there. Okay, so this is my trading view chart that I have where I put my notes. And you can see that the white sine wave here is that weekly that I'm always concerned about, those weekly cycles. And this yellow one is that daily, that short-term one that now hits a peak around January the 2nd that I just went over in the clips. I want you to look at this. This is the supply zone. We popped above it, pulled back, and was struggling yesterday, and now we kind of like above it. But this is that high I was talking about of October. This is a weekly chart, so it's October the 18th, that candle. This is where we need to make sure we stay above. We start, pulling back in there and going sideways to lower, then that's a sign of a double top. So you got to be careful. Now, I got the Heikin-Ashi candles on it. You can see that it's kind of telling you like, hey, be careful. It looks like it's getting weak here. But when you put it on regular candle, what's interesting is that you see it's at the top. It's closed above that high of 18,612. You got to be careful. And you got January the 2nd coming, which is that cycle hits a peak. And seasonality wise, January's weak. So if you're playing with time, you're pretty much kind of running out of time unless, Nifty's going to just do the opposite and just be even stronger and going higher in January. So, that remains to be seen, but I just wanted to show you that. Let's look at the daily chart real quick. And you can see that this is the price action right there. I was watching it the other day and we were there, and now we're up here, and you can see that the volume has been kind of weak around this area. One of the things that Jan talks about, volume and sales. If you just want to look at the volume, it's been kind of weak. That's me. Below the 20 moving average right here. So if there's Momo, it's probably it might kick in, we're towards the mid of December, maybe towards the end, it'll flush out the bears and maybe push higher, but just be cautious. There's this turning point here. You got this trend line, and we still on buy mode, but look at the candles. If you put the Heikin-Ashi on the daily, you could kind of see that there was negative, and now these last 2 days, Tuesday and Wednesday, are positive right now to cut the noise. So just be cautious. Okay, so this is my Elliott wave chart, and I'm looking at the weekly. You can see that the Stokes are getting a little toppy over here, indication for possible reversal. But nonetheless, if it's going to continue pushing higher, rally into Christmas, possible wave 5 would be, projection would be that 21 193 around there. But the program is indicating that this is a possible wave 5. That remains to be seen. We just got a Stokes crossover, so let's see how that's gonna resolve. Looking at the daily, also saying that this is a possible wave 5, and if it's going to push a little higher, this is another projection of 193.26. Now, what's interesting is that the 20 caught up to it, SMA, and if we put some of our indicators here, these are the targets that I had for a Nifty 50, and we already hit them. Linear regression channel still pointing up. You're above the 50, the 100, the 200, so that's still good. You can see the Stokes indicating, it's getting very toppy over here. And also, if it's going to push even higher and take out that high for like a nice little rally for Christmas, you got a target from anywhere between 19,000 all the way to 19,050. Somewhere around right there. That's going to be another target. And obviously this wave projection 5 here of 193.26. Keep an eye on the 20th. That's an ellipse technique I use. Once it gets to the end here, if it's either on the 20th or the 21st, some volatility, some price action, momentum could increase at the end of these ellipses. So it's a technique I use. So just keep an eye on the 20 and 21st. And I think another thing is the oscillators. Look at the oscillator. Look how big it goes over here. And then over here gets another little hump and the little lower hump. That's using the 535. The 517 you can see right here. And it gets lower as it goes higher. What's indicating is divergence going on right here. See over here. And then we made a new higher high. But then, there's divergence on the oscillator. It's just saying that it's getting weaker and weaker as it goes higher. So I wouldn't be surprised if they already know January, and I'm sure everybody just knows that January is coming. That they're just somebody's I don't know, whoever it is unloading here, and then when it goes up, they'll unload again, and if it does again, it goes higher, they'll start unloading. So that way, by the time January comes, if it's going to play out, they're already out, and they're just going to start piling short, or just get out and just kind of see what happens. All depends how it's going to play out. But it's they started December 1st. They started unloading. This is the daily. Yep. So they started unloading. And some people that don't know maybe just start buying it, thinking that they're going to go higher. But then once January comes, the seasonality shows, cycle is already warning us on the daily that it's going to be turning. So just be cautious. Okay, guys, so this is market geometry, and we're using the Andrews pitchfork. And you see that this is all weekly, I believe, I'm showing you. You can see that we're just kind of hanging around here, but within the angle, so that's good. That's bullish. Testing this high right here. So that's good. Let's go to the next one. And this is the Andrews pitchfork adjusted by 50%. And you can see that we're just battling out this 50% level on the Andrews pitchfork. So it'll be interesting to see how's it going to resolve. If it goes higher, then we're going to, test this area right up here, which is a 75. This is the Dewey cycles with some Gann swing indicators. This one is down while this one is up. So this is a little less, this is more risky. This is less risky. But it's always good when they're both in sync. But they both lined up really good when they came down. But now one is positive and one is not following. This is the mirror cycle, and it bottoms somewhere around here. What day is that? The 16. And then it just kind of goes sideways up. And now the Dewey cycle average, it's a peak around December the 26th, pretty much the end of the month. So we'll see how this is going to get played out. This is something I use in regards to timing, and this one is indicating the 16th. So interesting, the 16th. Keep an eye on that. This is Fibonacci extensions. This is a little more fractal, and we're just kind of chopping around the 382% extension. And this is the Gann speed lines, and pretty much chopping around the high. If it pushes higher, next target could be that 194.59. And the Gann angle fans, you can see that it's holding the 2x1 pretty good, and just kind of floating here in space, undecided. We're going to go higher, we're going to go lower. Do we know January is coming? Are we going to sell off? It's just kind of that hesitation. What are we going to do? We're going to hold, get off the boat, let it pull back, and maybe buy here, or see what's going to happen. And action reactions line. This is one thing I do like to see how it all plays out. I wanted to put it on the Nifty 50. You can see that it's stalling right there. And this is just because this is action reaction line from this move right here. So it expands it out into the future. And you can see that we're having an issue right there in this grid. And we haven't found that as support. And this one from down here up, these are all the ones going up. So if it ever pulls back, this would be one line of support right here. It's really far, but it's the one from this whole move right here. It moves in space. Let's see, anything else? I think that's it.